London, okay, would you give him dawah? Now be sincere, be honest. This is not to judge you. It's to just understand the mindset. If you saw a person like that, would you give him dawah? Be honest. Yes. Yes. Anybody else? Yeah? Yes. The two brothers say yes. Everybody's saying yes? Okay. Anybody says no? All of you are going to give dawah to a guy like this. Be honest. Huh? Sometimes we ask people and they tell us the reality is they don't. Because why? They see the outside appearance of the person. Now I'm not telling you when you see people like that you have to give them dawah. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'll give you a small story to help you understand. One sheikh in Washington DC was giving dawah. I'm sure many of you know him. I believe it's Kamal Makki. Do you guys know Kamal Makki? How many of you know Kamal Makki with a show of hands? MashaAllah. If you don't know Kamal Makki, then go online and watch his dawah videos. I think he has a video, it's called 10-minute shahada. How to get a shahada in 10 minutes. It's not really 10 minutes, but he's one of the giants of the dawah. After, obviously, we have Dr. Zakir Naik and, Sheikh, our beloved Sheikh, what was his name? Ahmed Didat, Rahimullah. I'm saying Kamal Makki is one of those brothers or ustads that we need to really watch him. There's another brother in London. Now, I'm not saying you're going to become an amazing da'i from these brothers, but you're going to take fawaids, you're going to take benefits, they're going to add to, like a lot of my stuff, it's not just from IRA. Some of it is from Sheikh Kamal Makki, some of it from, Ahmed Didat, may Allah be pleased with him. Some of it is from Dr. Zakir Naik and so on. Many, many du'ats put together has helped. Even our brother in London, England, Mohamed Ali is a mashallah very good da'i, student of knowledge. So a lot of brothers I watch. Now, by the way, just because I'm quoting all these names, I don't want you to understand that your learning of dawah, you can take the styles of the dawah. Sometimes you can say, oh, that's very amazing how he said that, but that is not your goal. Your goal isn't for you to just take what they say and go and throw it around. Your goal is to become a student of knowledge. So you're academically understanding Islam, and then you're conveying as you build your dawah. So I don't want you to get confused, because a lot of brothers, what they do, they just watch YouTube videos and they think this is dawah. And that was my own mistake. I did the same thing. I watched all of these du'ats because I was passionate about dawah, until I realized that the dawah isn't like that. The dawah is to learn. Anyway, going back to this point. So this sheikh in US was giving dawah in Washington DC, and he saw someone even far more different looking than him. Meaning the guy had the devil's horn, he had the green eyes or green eyes, he had the fangs coming out. If there was a shaitan, he looked like the shaitan. So what happened as the sheikh went up to him, he said, wait, I'm not going to give this guy dawah. He went across the road, and when he looked back, some other Muslim was speaking to this person. And as he was speaking to this person, 20, 30 minutes later, the brother accepted Islam. So the sheikh went back to him, and he said, what happened? So he wanted to know, how come you accepted Islam? He said, this morning I woke up and I was looking for my Rabb. I was looking for my Creator. I was looking for God. And this person came up to me and I spoke to him, and I knew this was a sign for me. So we don't know who is the recipient of Islam. Our job is to deliver the message. Who's going to accept it? This is between Allah and that person. Our job is not to convince, our job is to convey. So the point is, we don't judge the book by its cover. Allah does not look at your appearance outside, He looks what's in your heart. Our goal is to do our job. I'm not saying that you go in the middle of the night and you see a guy like this and I want to give him dawah. So you still have to be wise. Who you give dawah, when you give it, where you give it. But just be mindful, it doesn't matter what the person believes. You have to share the message of Islam. We had somebody recently in downtown Toronto converted to Islam. He's from Qawm Lut. I'm sure all of you know what that is. If you don't, ask someone who will tell you what it is. And the guy's like, I had done my surgery to become something else. And now I want to go back to what I was. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? So the point is, our job is to convey, not to convince. Okay? Now this brother, somebody gave him da'wah, alhamdulillah, he became a Muslim. He has a YouTube video online as well. I can't remember what his name was, Tariq or something like that. So the point is, our job is to just give da'wah. Okay? That's the goal. So before we begin to give da'wah, we should know what da'wah is. So what is da'wah? Now, I want to just point this out, sisters and brothers. Every time you see question marks, our education department, check. Okay, I think one of them working at one time. Check. I think only one works at one time, right, Sheikh? Can it? Check. Check. What is da'wah? Younger sisters, what is da'wah, sisters? What is da'wah? The sister in the corner, what is da'wah? The word. Sharing the word, bringing people to the... Okay, check. Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. Okay, excellent. Anybody else to take anybody else? Anything want to add to that? Yes, and the brother. Sorry? Is calling people to the Quran and the Sunnah, Islam and Quran and Sunnah. Excellent. Okay. Does anybody like to go a little bit deeper? Yeah. Yeah, you're calling to Tawheed, absolutely. So here, it's an invitation, excellent. However, an invitation, so da'wah, the word da'wah is to invite. It's an invitation to Islam. So let me guys ask you a question. If I wanted to take you out for dinner tonight, I said, bro, I'd like to take you out for dinner tonight. Right? Just imagine I'm inviting you tonight to dinner. I say, yo, John, or Abdullah, or Mohamed, you better get your ass into dinner tonight. I'm taking you out for dinner. Would you go? Would you accept my invitation? No, you wouldn't accept it, right? Yes or no? No, you wouldn't accept it. You wouldn't call anyone for anything good like that. They wouldn't accept it. So the point I'm trying to make here, if you wouldn't accept that, how is it that if look around the globe and what has da'wah become? What has da'wah become? Debates and arguments. So here's what we're saying, brothers and sisters. Da'wah is not debates. It is not arguments. It is completely the opposite. So everything you're seeing online, and I'm not saying the brothers don't have good intention. May Allah bless them for the great work they're doing. But da'wah is not to debate. Da'wah is to invite. This is why this is our second or third slide into the course. Because we want to change this framework that we have to go out and argue and debate with people to get them to be convinced about Islam. Again, we don't convince them, even to convey them. That's the point I'm trying to make here, brothers. Dawah is to invite. And the invitation has to be done in the best way possible. However, that being said, when we're talking about inviting, invitation is to enjoin good and to forbid evil. If you're not enjoining good and forbidding evil, you're not giving dawah. Because if you keep saying to someone that, yeah, you can do whatever you want, that's not dawah, brothers or sisters. That's not dawah. Dawah is, so let's ask the question here. What's the greatest sin in Islam? Shirk. So here, I'm going to give you this crude. You guys know a crude example? You guys know what crude example means? What's crude? It's like a harsh example. Oh, why did he give that example? Sometimes Prophet ﷺ would give these crude answers. Would you do this with your own mother or your sister? That's very crude, isn't it? So I'm not saying this to make you feel disgusted. I'm just giving you this crude example to make a point. There was a brother in UK, forget what nationality he comes from. He was selling his wife to people that he knew. You understand where I'm going with this, right? Basically, I don't need to use the words, but you understand. He was telling his friends, if you give me X amount of dollars, you could be with my wife. Is that a bad thing? Very bad, right? Disgusting, no? Now I want to ask you guys a question. If you're walking down the road, and I'll give you an example. This morning it happened with me and my wife. I know she didn't do it purposely, but I just showed it to her. She said, oh, look, sign of Israel. I hate that. I said, okay. I said, but did you see that sign of the Trinity? What do you hate more, the Trinity or the Israel's flag? Of course, she didn't do it in purpose, but I'm trying to explain. Let's go back to this example of this brother. He's selling his wife to his friend, which is disgusting. What's worse, seeing people worshiping something other than Allah or selling your wife? What's worse? Worshipping something other than Allah. We need to put this in perspective. Yes, lying, cheating, stealing, fornication, all these things are wrong. Yeah? But Allah can, I'm not saying going to, can forgive if He wants. Yes? But Allah will not forgive shirk. And every one of us walks around seeing shirk 24/7. 24/7, you're seeing shirk around you. But you don't even care. It doesn't even bother you. Because you know why? Because we're not thinking that way. So the greatest thing is to enjoin good. Good here, ulama say, is Islam. And Islam is to call people to goodness. What is goodness? To Tawheed, to worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything Islam gives you, there's goodness in it. If it makes sense to you or it doesn't make sense to you, there's still goodness in it. And forbidding evil. So the greatest evil, my beloved brothers and sisters, is what you see around you. Everyone is selling you something. Look, any of you have business? Anybody has a business? Put your hands up if you have any business. Even if you have the smallest business, it doesn't have to be. Even if you sell something. Any salesmen here? Okay, few salesmen. Here's my point. In every transaction, brothers and sisters, there are two things. There's a buyer and there's a seller. If there's no buyer, there's no seller, what do you call that? Waste of time. Imagine you want to walk around the mall and you don't buy nothing at all. You come home and be like, yeah, I didn't really want to buy, I just wanted to walk around. Which is fine. But you still benefit if you're walking around. Why? Because you're getting maybe some workout. Maybe you're moving around. You're still getting something out of it, right? So you're still buying something. In every transaction, somebody's selling you something. Either it's H&M, either it's Tommy Hilfiger, either it's an iPhone, either it's some movie, either some actor, or maybe some bra in the mall for the sisters. Somebody's always selling you something. So either they're selling you something and you're there to buy, or you're selling something and they're the ones who are buying. So either you're a buyer or you're a seller. So where Sheikh Kamal Makki says, either you're giving dawah or you're getting dawah. So just keep that in your mind, brothers and sisters. If you're not giving dawah, guarantee to you somebody's giving you dawah. Guaranteed. Even if it's your best friend. Even if it's your best friend. Even if he's a Muslim. Even if he goes to the prayer in masjid, reads Quran, but he's giving you dawah to something. Bro, let's go to the restaurant. Bro, let's go do this. Bro, let's go fishing. Either you're giving dawah or you're getting dawah. That's it. That's why there's an ayah in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, either you're coming closer to me or you're going the other way. Means there is no one day I will give dawah. One day I will pray salah. One day I will go to Hajj. One day I will go to Umrah. There is no one day. If you're not doing it now, you're not planning on doing it, then you're not doing it. Simple. You're not coming closer to Allah, you're going closer to the shaitan. Slowly, slowly. And the khatwat, the footsteps of the shaitan, are slow and steady. He has the long-term game. And here's the thing. The shaitan's trick is this. He will always take you from the higher good to the lower good. You know what that means, brothers? My sheikh taught me this back in 2018. So what do you mean, sheikh? He said, look, you have to study Islam. Your sheikh called you. Every Friday you have a halaqah. And your cousin called you. And he says, you come to my wedding. Yes? There's music, haram, mixing. But you know, sheikh, my cousin called me for a wedding. It's a sunnah is I have to go. But you miss your halaqah to learn your deen. So what did he do? Because they're both khair, right? Both good. Going to, somebody invites you in the sunnah, somebody invites you to an invitation, you have to take the invitation. Even if you show up for 5 seconds. So he takes you from a higher good to the lower good. This is the tricks of the shaitan. He will not come and tell you, bro, sleep around with women, bro, go and steal, go fornicate. No. He will take you from the highest good and say, what can I bring him down a little bit? And then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more, until... Are you with me, brothers and sisters? So what's the greatest good? The greatest good. La ilaha illallah, the tawheed. So that's the point. The point, I'm sorry for going a little bit longer on this one, is for you to really understand the biggest sin that's around us is not stealing, lying, killing, and murder. Of course, those are big sins. These are kabaras. But the greatest sin that Allah will never forgive is shirk. And we need to know that. If you don't know that in the dawah, then you're confused. I know some of you have been in my class and you've probably seen this before, but just for the people that didn't attend, what do you guys see here on this screen? For the people that didn't attend. The people that attended, just if you could just please remain silent because you may already know. What do you see here, brother? Propaganda against the Muslims. Yes. Islamophobia. Yes. Said it already? Sisters, what do you see here? I heard propaganda, Islamophobia. Yes. Fear-mongering. Okay. So I have a question now. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is this? Is it the media? Newspaper? Is it the fault of the newspaper? Partly. It's our fault. Why is it our fault? Good. I have a statement that I took from somewhere. I can't remember where I took it from. It was online, I think I took it from. It was a great statement. If you're not telling your story, know that someone else is telling your story. So if you're not giving them Islam, bet you bottom to dollar they're hearing Islam from somewhere. So what am I saying? I watched so much videos back in the days on YouTube. I don't waste a lot of time on YouTube, by the way. Just letting you know. So I'm not recommending for you to do that. But there was time that I used to watch so many YouTube videos. And I used to see these Christian pastors giving workshops and talks about Islam, what we're doing now, to the kuffars. Thinking they're ulama of Islam. And we had Muslims that are conveying the wrong message. Wallahi, brothers, you're here to learn dawah, yeah? I want to share something with you. I have many du'ats that work alongside with me as volunteers. And I tell brothers, if you're not learning Islam, you might be at the dawah booth getting sins. How could you be getting sins by giving da'wah? Because you're not conveying the right message, the right way. So learning Islam and learning da'wah goes hand in hand. It's not one of the other. So you learn your deen and you give da'wah. You learn your deen and you give da'wah. It's back and forth. If you're a student of knowledge, you have to give da'wah. And if you're a da'i, you have to become a student of knowledge. It cannot be one of the other. Very important, brothers. Okay? So, going back to this, because of this, we know that there's a need for us to convey the message of Islam. And if we don't do it, someone else will do it. So there's a gap. The gap is what? The Muslim Ummah has stopped giving da'wah. When was the last time the Muslim Ummah gave da'wah? Collective. I'm not talking about 3 people. I'm not talking about 5 brothers that go from LMM, Masjid. I'm not talking about 10 guys that go to downtown Toronto. And I'm not talking about Dr. Zakir Naik. I'm not talking about, Sheikh Usman. I'm talking about the Ummah. The whole of Muslim community. When was the last time the Muslim community as one body knew its responsibility and made sure that the da'wah was established for the Ummah? Can anybody tell me? Yeah. The time of the Prophet ﷺ. So how long has that been? So for 1400 years, we have neglected the da'wah, which was the number one thing the Prophet ﷺ did. Brothers, I go to a masjid and one brother said to me, bro, you have to roll up your pants. There's a hadith. And I said, no, from now, you're right. When you correct me, wallahi brothers, if you correct me, I'll be the first one to accept it. If you give me a sahih hadith, that's a hujjah against me. So I started rolling up my pants. I told my wife, cut all my pants, because I didn't know. And it's a sunnah, right, Sheikh? It's a sunnah. So fine, no problem. Having a beard is the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ. Wearing loose clothing for men, wearing hijab for the sisters. So all of these sunnahs, we accept it. Walking in the masjid with the right foot, sunnah. And so many more. But there's one sunnah the Prophet ﷺ never stopped. Never. Which is da'wah. And this is the one we've neglected for the last 1400 years. How is that possible? When we read the Quran, yes? When we read the Quran, what do? Our iman goes up, what do? We start giving da'wah to each other. We start going to halakas, we go to RIS, we call some sheikh, we do all these duruses. And I'm not saying those are not important. But here's the point. When the Sahabas read the Quran, they went out and gave da'wah. But when we read it, we do something completely different. Yes, Sheikh.
Sorry to interrupt, but there is one point that's really important.
Yeah.
As Brother Ali is mentioning. So, the term sunnah, when Brother Ali mentioned, it's dependent on the context.
Yes.
So sometimes the sunnah, it's the action of Rasulullah that is recommended.
Yes.
Or if you do it, you get the reward. If not, will be no sin.
Yes.
However, the sunnah from the usuli, when they will use the word sunnah, they mean the action of Rasulullah. And the action of Rasulullah is one of the 3. So it could be the ibadah, that he's doing, or something from his habit, or something only special for him. Okay, so one of 3. And his ibadah, it's one of 2. Either the action he will do it, either could be obligatory action, or could be recommended action. And he will never do haram or makruh.
That's right.
We agreed?
Yes.
Okay. So when the Prophet Ali will say to you, this is the sunnah of Rasulullah, that means it's the action of Rasulullah which is not just recommended.
Yes.
No, it's obligatory. So
Yes.
do not take it sunnah as something you take it or leave it. No. It's obligatory. It's a command.
Yes.
That's what he meant. It's not mean
Yes.
like a sunnah sallam. That means, from that category, there is wajib and there is sunnah, so I will do the wajib and leave the sunnah. No. It's in this sense, he meant the sunnah, that means the action sallam that he daily is doing it in terms of his obligation. And his obligation was passed to others. So do not think of it, oh, it's optional. It's not optional. It's must.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for clarifying that for the brothers, mashallah. When we look at the da'wah, brothers, when we read the Quran, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we see, or we don't see anything from Musa alayhi salam. What time did he get up for Fajr? Is there any ayats like that? Musa alayhi salam, what time did he get up for Fajr? Abu Zakaria alayhi salam, how much zakat did he give? Do we have that? Nuh alayhi salam, how many times he went to Hajj or Umrah? Or how did he do Hajj and Umrah? Is there anything like that in the Quran? Why are these things are missing? Why are they not there? Why are they not there, Shaykh? Yeah, or Ibrahim alayhi salam, how much zakat did he give? Or Musa alayhi salam, what time did he give for Fajr? Well, Islam has been here since time memorial. Okay, so they must have worshipped Allah. Let's say they didn't get up for Fajr in that time, but they must have had some kind of dawn prayer. Or yeah, so why are they not there? Yeah. They're irrelevant. Why they're irrelevant? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll have to follow the Risala of the Prophet ﷺ. Good, yes? Okay, so the point, what I'm trying to hone in from here, the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't preserve those information, because the main message of Allah is what? What is preserved? What do we see in the Quran? Yeah. La ilaha illallah. We see that the 1/3 of the Quran is about da'wah. It's about da'wah. Now, I want to be very careful here. When I say da'wah, brothers, there's a big misunderstanding in the Muslim Ummah. They think da'wah is just for Muslims. No, it's for both. It's for Muslims and non-Muslims. Actually, in some contexts, majority of the contexts, when the Quran is speaking about da'wah, it's talking about non-Muslim being invited to Islam. Da'wah isn't giving da'wah to each other. That could be Islam, there could be other things. So the point I'm saying, that when we talk about da'wah, some brothers think that da'wah is only speaking to Muslims. This is not da'wah. Part of da'wah, yes. Are you understanding? We're doing half the work and we're not doing the other half. We're giving da'wah to each other, yes. But we're not giving da'wah to non-Muslims. That's where we're lacking. So we need to be balanced to give da'wah to Muslims and non-Muslims. So when I'm out on the street with the brothers giving da'wah, I don't say, brother, you Muslim? Please get out of the way, I only speak to non-Muslims. Or when a non-Muslim comes, hey, you know what? I'm only here for you. Dawah is for every human being, Muslim and non-Muslim. This is very important for us to know. Here, what you see, that there's a dirty kitchen. Obviously, you can see that. When the kitchen is dirty like this, let's say you made breakfast, do you clean it up? Yes. If it gets dirty again, you clean it up again? Yes. So if you clean it up again and again, because every time you cook, the kitchen gets dirty. So what is this relevant to the dawah? Who's the first Muslim ever? Adam alayhi salam. So what message did he come with?